Hello and welcome to Two for the Win with your hosts, Nick and Will, where we provide international insight, perspective, and levity on things such as leadership and mindset with Monday Mindset, Wanderlust Wednesday, about the travel and the travel business, and Fanatic Friday, where we talk about sports. Each episode is about 20 to 30 minutes in length, so you can plan accordingly. And want to be excited about chatting Wanderlust Wednesday today.
Yes, ready to rock and roll.
Ready to rock and roll. So our winners, listeners, please make sure you subscribe, share, and follow for Two for the Win so you know when we drop episodes or get caught up on past episodes. And today's episode is sponsored by Nick Menard and Associates with Dream Vacations. Thank you, Nick Menard.
You're welcome. My pleasure. Hello, winners.
Hello, winners. And if any of our winners have some topics they want to share, please share things you want us to cover on any of the episodes, Monday, Wednesday, or Friday. Please let us know, as well as sponsorship opportunities. We've now been at this almost 2 months. Much gratitude to our winners. We've gotten off to a fantastic start. And so if you're looking to maybe generate some revenue, consider sponsoring one of the episodes that may work for you. But let's get to it. We just came back from a boring cruise. I slept a lot, didn't really do much. Whatever. Still actually trying to rehydrate.
I know.
But in all seriousness, for our winners, our listeners, every year, Dream Vacations has a national conference, and they host their conference on a cruise ship. What a cool way. You may work, for those of you listening, you may work for a company that has different events and conferences. I have to say, this is the first time I did kind of a work-related thing on a cruise ship. Makes it a lot easier to do, especially with the downtime when you just got the water and things like that, but on the Celebrity Ascent. So I want to thank my co-host, Nick, for inviting me to go on that. Very insightful time, learned a lot. But this episode, we're going to talk mostly about the ship, Celebrity Cruise Lines, and their ship, the Celebrity Ascent. But thoughts, Nick?
Yes, that was fantastic. They know how to do things, during vacations, they know how to do things. So basically, every year, they check one of the newest ship on the fleet from the major big ones. And every year we go to a 7-night cruise. Next year will be the exception because we're going to go on the Princess Star next year. And they only travel 5 nights. So we're going to do 2 nights pre-cruise. At the headquarters in Fort Lauderdale, and then 5 nights on the new Princess Star ship. So looking forward to that. But on this one, the thought is like it's a mix of a lot of learning with some fun, some networking, etc., etc. Talking about the ship, well, I already mentioned in past episodes my love for Celebrity. So that just reinforced everything, the way you are treated, the way that, the customer service aspect in the ship is fantastic. Food, you have a lot of different choices where you can go from the place where you have the buffet, of course, to different restaurants who are included, and then you have those specialty dining where you can experience different style. And we did. Almost all of them, I think. So we really wanted to experience more. Why? Because the best way for us to talk about it is to experience it ourselves. So we are very lucky to work in a business where you travel a lot. But it's all about the ability to be able to explain that to our customers when they need something and be able to know, okay, not only which cruise line to use, but which ship to use when you travel, because as mentioned before as well, you may like a certain cruise line, but certain ship are better for certain destinations or certain activities. So fantastic in general. But what's your take, since it was, I think, the second time you sailed with Celebrity, but you never sailed in those categories. So what's your take on that Ascent?
Yeah, I was extremely pleased with it. It had been a long time since I've been on a Celebrity cruise. And the Ascent, for our listeners, our winners to know, so we The port was out of Fort Lauderdale.
Wow.
Beautiful ship, large ship. But in the past, on some of the larger ships I've been on, the thing that I would get sometimes a little frustrated with is it took forever to get an elevator. And here they have, I don't know really if they had more elevators or what the deal was, but we barely had to wait at all to get on an elevator. So going up and down, of course, I usually like to take the stairs when I can to get the steps in to make up for all that food I'm eating and all the drink that we had with the drink package. But in all seriousness, I was extremely surprised and pleased how quickly, when I did want to take an elevator, I could get one. And so I, again, don't know if they have more or if they just, whatever the deal was, but that was great. Your point about service. So I think the room service person, he really tried hard. Like maybe a little too hard, but I mean, he was definitely, attentive. I'll say that way, to make sure we were happy with everything and the room was kept up. But here's a story I didn't tell you. So for our winners, those of you who don't know, I love coffee, and I actually need to get coffee in the morning to function. I think there was one day where I didn't get coffee and you made a comment like, what's going on with you? And I'm like, need caffeine. But so the very first day, I go in the morning and I get my coffee. I walk down, grab it, all good. Every day, I went every morning to get the coffee. Every day, the person who served me the first day, and every other day, he wasn't working the register. He was working on making the drinks. He remembered my name. And he's like, Mr. Wilmar, he calls my full name is Wilmar, and he called me Mr. Wilmar. But he's like, good morning, Mr. Wilmar. He only served me the one time. And I'm friendly and talk, a little bit, but nothing outrageous or anything. But every day he greeted me, even though he wasn't working the register, when he saw I was getting my drink. And that's impressive to me, because that is definitely something, you read a lot about, hey, how to make great impressions, remember people's names. I'm okay with it. I used to be better with it, actually, on remembering names than what I am lately. But every morning he's like, Mr. Wilmar, hello, how are you doing? Great. And I don't know, maybe he saw me dancing and he remembered me because, I made myself memorable with my horrible dance moves, but I love the dance, so I don't care. But
that's funny.
But I was just really impressed. So when you talked about the service, I don't remember ever having that kind of service on a cruise ship. But of course, I'm usually on like Royal, Norwegian. I haven't done Carnival in a long time, but definitely notice a difference in the service.
Yeah, no, and I think it's all about going above and beyond. Like we always take, like we talk on Monday Mindset about customer service and how important clients should be always the number one priority. And that's what they do here. They teach really their employees about the importance to remember names. Definitely when they see you coming back second day, they know that you will come back probably every day. So yeah, I have another example of something they did that I thought was very, very, very nice. So the first night we go out for dinner with specialty dining with some of our peers, friends, and we order Honeycomb. So the Honeycomb is like you will be better to explain. It's more your thing, but it's a drink, like
alcoholic drink.
With a honeycomb in there. So it's like I don't know how to say the name of those kind of drinks.
Well, it's a mixed drink, cocktail. Yeah, and they had a little kind of old fashioned style, but with the honeycomb, and they had this. I can't think of a better word. This isn't going to make it sound good. Glop of honey, but it's like on a stick, and it's in there, so it's sweetening the drink, and you can stir it. But at the end of it, you have this chunk of honey, and you can eat it, and it was quite tasty. But anyway, go ahead.
No. So we ordered. I mean, actually, Will, you ordered it, and then you liked it, and then someone else liked it. So I wanted to try, and I loved it because I'm not a big old fashioned guy, but that was sweet, and I like sweet things, so I really enjoyed it. But the story is that we tried different restaurants. So every day we tried another one, and then some didn't have it. You know, they don't have, but they went above and beyond. They contact the restaurant who actually offered it, and then make sure to order double, so they don't have to do it again, because you know they knew we were going to drink a little bit, and so they literally came with like 4 drinks. Said, "Hey, Mr. Wil, Mr. Nick, here are the your drink, and we did a double already, so you have some." But I mean, not everybody will be doing that, and they really go above and beyond to make sure that we have the best experience. So for those who don't cruise too much, or who never cruise with Celebrity, even though most cruise lines do that now, the specialty dining, so it's out of pocket, so you have to pay for the dinner, okay? But the price is extremely affordable. So you will pay like, I don't know, $60-$80 or something like that, and it's all you can eat on the menu pretty much. So you can pick, if you go to the sushi place that I personally love. The last night we went on a sushi place, and you know, we had each 3 rolls, so it's like an appetizer and stuff. Well, it's the same price as if you take one. So it's pretty amazing. I mean, it was really fantastic experience in general for the food and the drink. Of course, drink packages, that's the same everywhere pretty much outside Virgin, where you have the ability to take a drink package. And of course, you have the classic, the premium. So the difference is really the kind of alcohol that are available for you. But for example, the classic for Celebrity, it's up to $10. So any beer, of course, are included, and any basic alcohol like vodka, rum, things like that are included. But when you want some specialty like cocktails, or you want certain type of wine or things like that, you will have to pay the difference between $10 and whatever the price is of the drink. So and if you take the premium, I believe it's $16, but I will have to check, up to $16 per drink, I believe. And so you pretty much have access to everything. But if you take like a rum from 72, like you may have to add something, or some specific wine. But it's enjoyable. You go anywhere, you just order drinks in every bar, every restaurant, and it's included. So that's pretty cool. And I know you enjoyed your drink package.
Yeah, I'm still recovering, to be honest on that. So I'm glad I got some time off coming up here so I can fully recover. But I'm glad you brought up the story about the Honeycomb, because that was really another example of great service, making sure that we could enjoy the drink, because it was a very tasty drink. I mean, I'm like you, I'm not an old-fashioned fan, but that's why I like Japanese old-fashioned when they use Japanese whiskey. Just lightens it a little bit. That was really tasty. We had a following. Other people who tried it did it as well. Here's something else that maybe is a little... actually, 2 things. So one... On Royal, you have the main dining, right? And you go there and they have the menu. To your point, and you alluded to it, they have 4 separate, quote unquote, main dining. So they had Mediterranean, they had Italian, they had Cosmopolitan, which was just kind of like your standard American fare. And then they had Italian. And when I was looking at the menus, you know, about 75% of the menus are is the same, you know, no matter which one of the theme you go to, but 25% is different, and which is cool. So if you have certain things that you want specifically, then you can pick it. But what I didn't realize is they still changed it, you know, throughout the day. So it wasn't like the same static 25% difference between the Italian and Mediterranean. Those things even changed each day. So you really get a lot of variety. And it extended from the appetizers to the main entrees to the dessert. So, you know, that was cool. So if there's something on the 75% that you liked, it really wouldn't matter which restaurant you go to the one that has the availability, sit down, eat. But if there's something specific, you had that kind of nuance you could do, which I liked. I like having options and stuff like that. The other thing, this is a little maybe weird, but I noticed it. And, when I went to the solarium, I do like kids, but when I'm on a cruise vacation, or if, you know, I want to chill when I'm relaxing, you know, I don't want to necessarily hear all that. Well, the solarium at Royal, it's almost like you're in a hot box. Like it's pretty humid. Not a lot of airflow, and it's kind of I won't say it's uncomfortable, but it's not super comfortable. Celebrity when I went in that solarium was very comfortable, and it felt almost exactly the same as outside it. So they must have some ventilation or something that really keeps it from feeling like a greenhouse, because that's kind of how I feel in Royal, where it's a greenhouse, not a lot of airflow. The solarium and Celebrity, they had good airflow, and it was very comfortable. So that was something that I did notice as a distinct difference between the two ships.
Absolutely. The pool on the top deck is also a little bit larger than some others, definitely larger than Virgin. Everybody knows Virgin has probably the smallest pool on ship, but yeah, and it's a very entertainment kind of atmosphere. Like they have bars in both sides and right in the middle on top of the ship. So that's a nice perks to have. And then of course you have the retreat, which is the highest level, more the VIP place over there as well. And so that's a level above, but it's like closed just for VIP people. So that's a good perks if you are a little bit more high class and you want to have, Celebrity is the highest level before luxury. But for me, luxuries is a word that can be used for, it has 10 people will have a different definition. For me, Celebrity reached that level already. But in the cruise lines, like like dictionary, like I would say Virgin, Celebrity are the two who are just under the official luxury march. But when you go to the retreat, you get very close. So it's a premium of the Celebrity, which is very, very, very close to luxurious. So this is also something to take into consideration for listeners. You will have options. Yeah. I know you mentioned lift, elevators.
Yeah.
They don't have more. They just have a better organization. And the ship was full at 95%. So it's not like we were there and there was like a lot of empty space. So, but you don't feel like that. Like even for the restaurants, when you go, even when you have some time, we didn't schedule any time.
Right.
And we always had the opportunity to sit down. So that was a good perks. And we barely, we wait 2 minutes maximum one time to get our table set. But otherwise it's literally ready. And a very positive attitude from all servers, extremely positive, smiling, and good in the atmosphere. Also, no clothing restrictions. So, you have like some place when you have to be formal some day and stuff. Celebrity don't have that. You just cannot go to those specialty dining with a short or sandals. It's pretty much it, but you can wear whatever you want on those restaurants. So that's a question I receive frequently when people are booking, and I said, do they have a formal night? Some people want that, and some people absolutely don't, because they feel I'm on vacation. I don't want to think about what I'm going to wear, But for Celebrity, there's not a problem there. They're very open-minded and things of that nature. So that's very good. The next thing I would like to talk about, and I will ask you first, because I know you love casinos. So what do you feel about the experience at the casino? Can you explain to our winners a little bit how the casino looks like, and how big it is or small it is for you, and then we can go from there.
Yeah, I felt the casino was bigger than the one I went on in Royal. It was easier to move around. In Royal, I felt a little cramped at times. Of course, I'm not a small person either, but it's kind of like the difference between shopping at Walmart and shopping at Nordstrom's. Walmart, those aisles are just crammed together, and it's almost like you're playing bumper cars with carts. Nordstrom, free-flowing, things like that. Felt the same way with the casino. Royal, I felt cramped. Had to shift my body a lot to get through, especially where the slots are. They slam those slots together, and you're pressed up against other people. With Celebrity, you had space. You could move. You could actually walk in between. If there were two people sitting back to back on a slot, you could fit between them without feeling like you're rubbing against them or whatever, which is kind of creepy. So, in any event,
how you doing?
Like most of them, no. So, so that was nice. The other thing was they seem to have more tables. So if you like things like roulette, 3-card poker, hold'em,
blackjack,
of course, goodness, yeah, plenty of tables. And the other thing that I like that I didn't see or didn't have available to me on the Royal cruise I went on the month prior was they had a cash game for Texas Hold'em because for our winners, our listeners, Nick and I love to play poker. I typically like playing tournaments better, but on a cruise ship, usually the tournaments only last an hour because you get about one table's worth. So about 8 to 10 people, which is nice in a way because it's quick. But then that's it. When it's done, you can't play. On the Celebrity, they had the cash game, and that was good. And I walked away with more money than I came with, which I was very happy with. So I was very happy that they actually had a cash Texas Hold'em poker game. Slots, they had slot tournaments. I didn't partake in any of those, but I did walk by them and saw that they have them. So for those of you who are slots enthusiasts, they have all the latest games. They have slot tournaments. They have things you can do. Funny quick story. I put in $40 into, well, actually, I put in $20. We're killing time before, I think we were going to the bar, I guess, but meeting up people. But so we were killing some time and went through the $20. I put in another $20. I may or may not have had a few Honeycomb before I put in the second $20. Anyway, I spaced it and I hit the $8.80 for one spin and it hit and I won $4.40. So I love the casino at the Celebrity. You know, I definitely walked away with more money in my pocket than I came with. So,
hey, that's what we all want, right?
Yeah.
And then we saw someone, we didn't see, but someone from our group won a cruise on the slots.
Yeah, that's right.
So just, and someone who just paid like $10 just to have fun a little bit and then bam, win a cruise. So that's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And for the poker, just to give some more detail, for cash game, the only thing is that once you have 5 people who sit down on a table, there's a dealer who come to deal. Mm-hmm. So that's the only thing. As long as there's at least 5 people, they open a table for cash game. So it's pretty neat. Mm-hmm. Also, when we talk about customer service, we had a dealer for the on the roulette, I believe it was, and she was. I remember her from one trip I took a couple of years ago on another celebrity. I forgot which celebrity it was. I've been to so many of them. I don't know. But anyway, she recognized me and I recognized her. And of course, they turn around. You know, usually it's 3 months in, 3 months off, 3 months in, 3 months off. They turn around. So, and she was amazing. She was extremely fun, helping as well. Hey, I wouldn't do that if I were you. You know, like so that's another kind of atmosphere than when you go to Vegas or you go to Hard Rock. So I really enjoy that. And the final piece about coming out of the casino, just in front, you have the high-end stores.
Oh yeah.
And then we love, Will and I, we both love watches a lot. And so we went the first day on the cruise. We literally stopped by just to look at some watches. And the guy was directly like asking our name and blah, blah, blah. Then we came back and he remembered us and our name. Hey, Mr. Nick. Yeah. So it's pretty cool. Again, they are trained and drilled to make sure to try to keep in mind whose name is that. But it was the first night against the last one.
Yeah, we didn't stop by in between.
We didn't stop by in between. It's, hi, Mr. Nick, I'm Mr. Will. So it's pretty cool. And then he make us try some, you know. I mean, that was just a great experience. That is not something that we experience all the time on cruises. So kudos to Celebrity. Thank you so much for having us. I have your hat on today. That's not the X is Celebrity, guys. Relax. So that was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Now we can maybe pivot a little bit and talk about some activities that are on the ship.
Yeah, you know, one of the things, now here's a fun, I never had this happen before. So there is a, for lack of a better term, a deli called Eden and tucked away in a portion of the ship. And off the deli, they have this floor. It's a padded floor. So it's I don't know how to compare it to something, but almost think of it as like for gymnastics mat, but it's a little more raised and soft, right? So we were sitting there, right? We were eating this time, maybe drinking.
No, definitely drinking.
And sitting in a group, and I'm sitting like the chair that's just off the floor. That's where we're sitting. And it was around 2-3 o'clock. And all of a sudden, all the gymnasts come and they're doing a dress rehearsal for the show that they're doing the following night. And they did the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
So they did the whole show, music, the acts, everything. It was a little bit Circus Soleil-ish type with the acrobat, had some art flair to it, like Mystere, where you had the painting and some of the different stuff. And we got to see the whole thing. And then when they're done, the director and the dance choreographer are looking at their notes and the video, and then they're coaching them
Feedback
on different things. And that lasted another hour. So we actually sat there for like 2 hours, saw basically the hour show, and then the deconstruction of how they were tweaking the segments of it. That I'd never seen that before. I never had that experience before. And that was super cool. And then we saw that comedian / magician where he didn't really focus on magic. He was mostly making fun of stuff like that. That was really good. They had some game shows. Usually I do the game shows, but we didn't because there's a lot of stuff that we had going on beyond just vacationing on the cruise, which we'll talk about next time with the national conference. But I thought it was great and a lot of options and the things I did see, I thought were really well done.
Yeah, you have a club, a 2-story club every night. You have the main bar. It's the martini bar in the middle where you have activities with the server are just doing some cocktail kind of, from the movie with Tom Cruise. Mm-hmm. They do some stuff like that. And then the music goes up and everybody clapping and filming. So they try to engage really people. Then we have the silent disco with a lot of fun twice during the week. So I think the second night and the last night they do silent disco, which is amazing. You get like the headset like this, and then you have 3 different sounds, music. 3 DJs in your ear, and you choose which one you want. So you see everybody dancing differently because they all listen to something different, and then singing. And then you see people with no headphones on, and they just laugh because they see people dancing weird and they don't know what kind of song they're listening to. So, I mean, I know most of you probably know. You need to watch us on YouTube because Wil is doing some dance right now, some dance move.
No, you can't unsee what you see. Maybe they don't want to see us on YouTube.
but yeah, so basically, yeah, the entertainment is definitely there at night. You have also on top deck at the pool, you have some entertainment. And then one day I have to share that as well because it happens. We were supposed to stop at a certain destination. I forgot which. Cayman Island?
No, St. Thomas in Georgetown.
Yeah. So we were supposed to stop there, and that was a heavy wind at the time, and then the ship was unable to deck there. So we received a notification from the captain at 7 a.m. saying like, the island is not accessible for us today, so we had to continue on sea. And what I loved is that they really turn around in an hour time and send to every staterooms like a full calendar on agenda to do that day to replace the day that people are missing to go out. And that was like full of entertaining. The captain had an hour session Q&A on the theater.
Telling jokes.
Yeah. So really they tried to do the best they could in order to satisfy the customer based on something that it's independent from it's weather.
Right.
So you always have people who complains, but in general, I didn't hear or see anybody like going too crazy about it. But again, it's to showcase that whatever happened, they're on top of it and they make sure to get the best possible experience out of you. So again, for the second time, thank you, Celebrity. Thank you for the crew. We had the VP of sales who was also on the ship. We talked with. She's all about the people, all about the experience.
Powerful
and
story.
That's literally the only thing that matters for her.
Yeah.
And of course, thanks to that, the rest follows. And it's the same that we said in Monday Mindset constantly. Do the right thing by the people, the right thing comes to you. So
and you can tell from the enthusiasm in your voice, you appreciate the service. And I think it's a testament when you miss a port and yet we walked away having a great time. There's so much to do on the ship. That ship was really a great ship. Plenty of plunge pools. So, I mean, you don't have to worry about feeling crowded in the pool. The hot tub was massive. There's several
10 people.
Yeah, just massive in that one. I will say on the martini bar, this is an inside joke, so not everyone will catch it.
This little glass and big glass.
Yeah. They gave me this little like ballerina glass for the martini. And I'm like, no, you got to give the regular glass. And they're like, it's the same amount. I'm like, no. He's like, I'll show you. And he takes the little glass, he pours water in it. He takes the water and then pours it in the regular martini glass. It was about 15% less. I'm like, yeah, see, man, you chipped me out of the 15%, a little bit more. So after that, they, of course, because I made an ass on myself, they recognize me. And then when I come, they're like, oh, you want the large glass on the martini? I'm like, yes, I do want the large glass on the martini.
All right, winners, you heard it first. Your will is difficult when it comes to another thing now, drinking.
Just don't give me the Dixie cup version of the martini glass. I want the regular size glass.
That's funny.
Yeah, but it was a great time. We could talk more. Look, we filled the time, and there's still so much more we could talk about. So, Celebrity Ascent, piggybacking off my co-host Nick. Thank you. Great time, great experience, great food, great entertainment, great service. And so our winners, listeners, if you haven't tried Celebrity, give Nick Menard and Associates a call, book your next cruise, give it a shot. Think you'll experience a difference that you will appreciate and enjoy. And if not, let's go back to the other cruise line you liked and we can book that for you too. So it's all good. No worries there. But thank you as always for our winners or listeners. Please make sure you subscribe, share, and follow For the Win podcast. We will see you in a couple days for Fanatic Friday and looking forward to that. So hope this message has found you well and please give us your feedback. Take care, winners.
Bye, winners.